Hey people, it's Niall Stokey. This is from the New York Times. No longer in shadows, Pentagon's UFO unit will make some findings public. For over a decade, the program, now tucked inside the Office of Naval Intelligence, has discussed mysterious events in classified briefings. Despite Pentagon statements that it disbanded a once covert program to investigate unidentified flying objects, the effort remains underway, renamed and tucked inside the Office of Naval Intelligence, where officials continue to study mystifying encounters between military pilots and unidentified aerial vehicles. Pentagon officials will not discuss the program, which is not classified but deals with classified matters. It appeared last month in a Senate committee report outlining spending on the nation's intelligence agencies for the coming year. The report said the program, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, was to standardize collection and reporting on sightings of unexplained aerial vehicles and was to report at least some of its findings to the public within 180 days after passage of the Intelligence Authorization Act. While retired officials involved with the effort, including Harry Reid, the former Senate Majority Leader, hope the program will seek evidence of vehicles from other worlds, its main focus on discovering whether another nation, especially any potential adversary, is using breakout aviation technology that could threaten the United States. Senator Marco Rubio, the Florida Republican who is the acting chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, told the CBS affiliate in Miami this month that he was primarily concerned about reports of unidentified aircraft over American military bases. It was the government's interest to find out who was responsible. He expressed concerns that China or Russia or some other adversary made some technological leap that allows them to conduct this sort of activity. Mr. Rubio said some of these unidentified aerial vehicles over U.S. bases possibly exhibited technologies not in the American arsenal. But he also noted maybe there is a completely sort of boring explanation for it, but we need to find out. In 2017, the New York Times disclosed the existence of a predecessor unit called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Defense Department officials said at the time the unit and its $22 million in funding had lapsed after 2012. People working at the program, however, said it was still in operation in 2017 and beyond, statements later confirmed by the Defense Department. The program was begun in 2007 under the Defense Intelligence Agency and was then placed within the Office of Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence, which remains responsible for its oversight, but its coordination with the intelligence community will be carried out by the Office of Naval Intelligence, as described in the Senate budget bill. The program never lapsed in those years, but little was disclosed about 2017 operations. The Pentagon program's previous director, Luis Elizondo, a former military intelligence officer who resigned in October 2017 after 10 years of the program, confirmed that a new task force evolved from the aerospace program. It no longer has to hide in the shadows, Mr. Elizondo said. It will have a new transparency. Mr. Elizondo is among a small group of former government officials and scientists with security clearances who, without presenting physical proof, say they are convinced that objects of undetermined origins have crashed on Earth with materials retrieved for study. For more than a decade, the Pentagon program has been conducting classified briefings for congressional committees, aerospace company executives, and other government officials, according to interviews with program participants and unclassified briefing documents. In some cases, earthly explanations have been found for previously unexplained incidents. Even lacking a plausible terrestrial explanation does not make an extraterrestrial one the most likely, astrophysicists say. Mr. Reid, the former Democratic senator from Nevada who pushed for funding the earlier UFO program when he was the majority leader, said he believed the crashes of objects of unknown origin may have occurred and that retrieved material should be studied. After looking at this, I came to the conclusion there were reports, some were substantive, some were not so substantive, that there were actual materials that the government and the private sector had in their possession, Mr. Reid said in an interview. No crash artifacts have been publicly produced for independent verification. Some retrieved objects, such as unusual metallic fragments, were later identified in laboratory studies as man-made. Eric W. Davis, an astrophysicist who worked as a subcontractor and a consultant for the Pentagon UFO program since 2002, said that in some cases, examination of materials and so far failed to determine their source and led him to conclude we couldn't make it ourselves. The constraints of discussing classified programs and the ambiguity of information cited in unclassified slides from the briefings have put officials who have studied UFOs in the position of stating their views while presenting any hard evidence. Mr. Davis, who now works for Aerospace Corporation defense contractor, said he gave a classified briefing to a Defense Department agency as recently as March about retrievals from off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. Mr. Davis said he also gave classified briefings on retrievals of unexplained objects to staff members on the Senate Armed Service Committee on October 21, 2019, and to staff members of the Senate Intelligence Committee 2 days later. Committee staff members did not respond to requests for comment on this issue. Public fascination with the topic of UFOs has drawn in President Trump, who told his son, Donald Trump Jr., in a June interview that he knows very interesting things about Roswell, a city in New Mexico that is central to speculation on the existence of UFOs. The president demurred when asked if he would declassify any information on Roswell. I'll have to think about that one, he said. Either way, Mr. Reid said, More should be made public to clarify what is known and what is not. It is extremely important that information about discovery of physical materials or retrieved craft come out. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'll leave this article in the description. Peace.